Onning-chan, press the bell icon and never miss a video from Anime Lord Senpai.
Coming number 10 is Tales of the Abyss. Tales of the Abyss follows Luke von Faber, who spends his days locked away in his manor after being kidnapped and losing memories as a child. One day while honing his swordsmanship, a woman named Tyr attempts to assassinate his master. Luke defends him, but the clash results in the two being teleported to a distant land. Luke and Tyr's journey back quickly escalates into a quest that will either free the world from the Score's chains or destroy it completely. The world of Alderaan is bound by the Score, a series of prophecies from centuries past that dictate the world's future. It is considered an absolute fate that everyone lives by, even people whose actions led to bloodshed and tears. Using magical abilities known as the Phonic Arts, a war between the nation of Kimlaska Lanvaldir and the Malkuth Empire is waged in hopes of bringing the Score's foreseen utopia to life. Coming at number 9 is Mushi Bugyo. In feudal Japan, the people of Edo are under siege by giant insects that ravage the land. The people desperately beg the government to do something about it. Thus, the Insect Magistrate Office is established, gathering strong warriors to defend against the onset of pests. Mushi Bugyo follows Jinbi Tsukishima, a young man striving to be a master swordsman like his father. To atone for a horrific accident that occurred with his fault, Jinbi seeks to take his father's place as a member of the Insect Magistrate Office. On his journey there, he meets the lovely Haru, a young woman who helps manage her family's tea house, and is forced to put his sword to good use in saving her from a grisly fate. This act of bravery that earns him a spot in the Insect Magistrate. Will this rookie exterminator be able to rid the land of the horde of insects swarming in? Coming at number 8 is Kabanari of the Iron Fortress. The world is in midst of the Industrial Revolution when horrific creatures emerge from a mysterious virus, ripping through the flesh of humans to sate their never-ending appetite. The only way to kill these beings, known as Kabane, is by destroying their steel-coated hearts. Only the most fortified of civilizations have survived this turmoil, as is the case with the island of Hinomoto, where mankind has created a massive wall to protect themselves from the endless hordes of Kabane. The only way into these giant fortresses is via heavily armored trains, which are serviced and built by young men such as Ikoma. Having created a deadly weapon that he believes will easily pierce through the hearts of Kabane, Ikoma eagerly awaits the day when he will be able to fight using his new invention. Little does he know, however, that his chance will come much sooner than he expected. Coming at number 7 is Dead Man Wonderland. Gonta Igarashi and his classmates were preparing to go on a class field trip to a certain prison amusement park called Dead Man Wonderland, where the convicts perform dangerous acts for the onlookers' amusement. However, Gonta's life is quickly turned upside down when his whole class gets massacred by a mysterious man in red. Framed for the incident and sentenced to death, Gonta is sent to the very jail he was supposed to visit. But Gonta's nightmare is only just beginning. The young protagonist is thrown into a world of sadistic inmates and enigmatic powers, to live in constant fear of the lethal collar placed around his neck that is slowed only by winning in the prison's deathly games. Gonta must bet his life to survive in a ruthless place where it isn't always easy to tell friend from foe, all while trying to find the mysterious red man in Clear's name in Dead Man Wonderland. Coming at number 6 is Garo the Animation. Makai Knight is a 17-year-old Leon Luis who inherits the legendary armor of the Golden Knight Garo from his mother. Though he possesses great power, he struggles to overcome the hatred he bears from his mother's death at the hands of the kingdom. His father German, known as Zoro the Shadow Cutting Knight, is still training Leon when he is called to investigate the upsurge of horrors in the kingdom's capital. Although German knows Leon's will is wavering, he decides to bring Leon along to continue his training. As German and Leon head to the capital, the king's amiable son, Alfonso San Valiente, struggles to find a solution to the growing horror threat. But before he can do so, he's double-crossed and banished from his own kingdom. To return home, Alfonso sets out to find the help and strength he needs to reclaim the throne. During a search, he comes across Leon, whose interactions with the prince will forever change both of their fates. Coming number 5 is the Rising of the Shield Hero. The 4 cardinal heroes are a group of ordinary men from modern-day Japan summoned to the kingdom of Melromarc to become its saviors. The 4 heroes are respectively bestowed a sword, spear, bow, and shield to vanquish these waves. Naofumi Iwatani in Otaku becomes cursed with the fate of being the shield hero. When the heroes are provided with resources and comrades to train with, Naofumi sets out with the only person willing to train alongside him. He is soon betrayed by her, however, and becomes falsely accused of taking advantage of her. Naofumi then becomes heavily discriminated against and hated by the people of Melromarc for something he didn't do. With the raging storm of hurt and mistrust in his heart, Naofumi begins his journey of strengthening himself and his reputation. Naofumi must fight for the survival of the kingdom and protect the people of Melromarc from their ill-fated future. Coming at number 4 is history's strongest disciple, Kenichi. The story follows Kenichi Shirahama, who rather spends his time reading self-improvement books and fighting. However, when he finally works up the courage to become strong and join his school's karate club, he's coerced into fighting a bullying upperclassman who is intent on getting him kicked out of the club. He is about to give it all up until he falls for his mysterious new classmate, Mio Furinji. In order to face this challenge, he undergoes rigorous training at the dojo she lives at, Ryozanpaku. Some initial training by the masters there allow him to defeat his upperclassmen. However, his fighting prowess brings him to the attention of the powerful gang of delinquents, Ragnarok. Wishing to protect the things he loves and determined to have the strength to face the increasing adversity, he must learn various martial arts from the dojo's resident masters, taking karate, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and Chinese martial arts and combining them to create his own fighting style. Coming at number 3 is Tower of God. 25th Bam had been alone his whole life until he met Rachel. Now, however, Rachel is set on climbing the tower, and she's willing to leave Bam behind to do so. After Rachel disappears in a veil of light, Bam follows her, vowing to ascend the Tower of God in hopes of meeting her again. But the tower is a dangerous place full of ancient secrets, fearsome monsters, and nefarious humans. Each floor is protected by an administrator who puts the daring challengers through grueling tests that will push them to their limits. As he confronts Hedon, the administrator of the first floor, Bam learns that he is an irregular, someone who was not chosen by the tower but was able to enter it on his own, an extremely rare event inside the tower. Regardless of this revelation, however, his path forward is clear. Be it wealth, power, glory, or even reuniting with Rachel, all desires will be realized at the top of the tower. Coming at number 2 is Inuyashiki. Ichiro Inuyashiki is a 58-year-old family man who is going through a difficult time in his life, but he still manages to find solace in Hanako, an abandoned Shiba Inu that he adopts into his home. However, his life takes a turn for the worse when a follow-up physical examination reveals that Ichiro has stomach cancer and has only 3 months to live. His family's disinterest causes an emotional breakdown. Running off into a nearby field, Ichiro embraces his dog and weeps until he notices a strange figure standing before him. Suddenly, a bright light appears and Ichiro is enveloped by smoke and dust. When he comes to, he discovers something is amiss. He has been reborn as a mechanized weapon, wearing the skin of his former self. Though initially shocked, the compassionate Ichiro immediately uses his newfound powers to save a life, an act of kindness that fills him with happiness and newfound hope. Coming at number 1 is Berserk. Guts is a former mercenary now known as the Black Swordsman. After a tumultuous childhood, he finally finds someone he respects and believes he can trust, only to have everything fall apart when this person takes away everything important to Guts for the purpose of fulfilling his own desires. Now marked for death and destined to be hunted by demons until the day he dies, Guts embarks on a journey to defy such a gruesome fate, as waves of beasts relentlessly pursue him. Stealing his resolve, he takes up the monstrous blade Dragon Slayer and vows to exact vengeance on the one responsible, hunting down the very man he once looked up to and considered a friend. Along the way, he encounters some unlikely allies, such as a small elf named Puck and Isidro, a young thief looking to learn swordsmanship from the former mercenary. As the ragtag group slowly comes together after having decided to join Guts in his quest, they will face incredible danger. Top 10 anime where loser MC turns powerful as hell.